Growing up, I witnessed the evolution of mobile technology, from brick-like cell phones to beepers, and eventually to the sleek devices we have today. Caller ID was one of my favorite innovations. It gave me control, letting me screen my calls and avoid unwelcome surprises. But one call shattered that sense of control and left me questioning everything I thought I knew about technology and reality. It was a quiet evening. My flip phone sat on the table beside me, its faint glow cutting through the dim room. When it buzzed, I glanced at the screen, expecting a familiar name or number, but what I saw sent a chill down my spine. The caller ID didn't display numbers. It didn't even show an unknown or private caller. Instead, 3 bold letters stared back at me. NNN. I frowned, trying to make sense of it. Caller ID doesn't use letters, only numbers. My mind searched for a rational explanation. Maybe it was a glitch, a hiccup in the system. Despite my unease, I decided to answer. "Hello?" I said cautiously. For a moment, there was nothing. Then a low, crackling static seeped through the receiver, faint but unnerving. I strained to hear something, anything, but the static remained constant, a relentless whisper of emptiness. "Hello?" I repeated, louder this time, my voice betraying a slight tremor. No response, just static, crackling like a distant fire. I hung up quickly, shaking my head. Technology wasn't perfect, I told myself. Man-made things break down all the time. It was nothing to worry about, and yet, the unease lingered. Hours later, I couldn't shake the feeling that the call wasn't as innocent as I wanted to believe. Something about NNN gnawed at me. It didn't feel random. So out of curiosity and perhaps a little fear, I started thinking about the old texting system we used back then. Flip phones didn't have full keyboards. Instead, numbers were paired with letters, like 555 cash or 888 home. Each number corresponded to 3 or 4 letters. I stared at the letters on the screen and began translating. N was 6. Suddenly, it all clicked. My blood ran cold as I realized the truth. NNN was 666. 666 had called me. I sat there in stunned silence, my heart pounding in my chest. My mind raced, trying to find a logical explanation, but none came. A glitch? A joke? Who or what was on the other end of that call? I replayed the static in my head. It hadn't been random noise. It had felt intentional, like something or someone was waiting, watching, deciding. I told myself it was just a strange coincidence, nothing more. But coincidences don't send chills crawling down your spine. Even now, years later, I can't forget that call. It felt like a message, a warning, or an invitation. I never received another call from NNN, but sometimes, late at night, I still hear faint static in the quiet, as if the line was never truly disconnected. So if your phone ever rings and the caller ID displays something you can't explain, remember my story and ask yourself, are you brave enough to answer?